Ooh, nice school of bluegills right in front of the boat, right where I can cast at them. Man, we're out here using this new Aqua trolling motor mounted underwater camera system. There's a bunch of gills here. We're gonna catch some of these fish. But first, I wanna show you how to install this on your boat so you can come out and see these fish and catch them just like we're doing. Hi, we're in Fish Electronics today in Pequot Lakes, Minnesota with Andy Cradaville, and we're gonna install a neat new product from Aqua called the trolling motor camera. This is a really cool system. It's brand new. And what it is it's just a little underwater camera. It mounts right to the base of the trolling motor. And then the signal runs up into this Aqua monitor. It's mounted right in the front of your boat so you can view and fish at the same time. Let me show you a couple little parts of this system that we're going to be installing today. First of all, we've got an Aqua Micro 5 camera. You can use any micro camera that's available out there, the Micro Plus, the 5, the Micro 2. We've got the monitor. We've got the camera itself, which as you can see is a really, really small compact piece here. And then you've got this little bracket that the camera recesses into, and this is what's going to be mounted to the trolling motor. Then we've got this other bracket that mounts either to the side or at the base of the trolling motor. So this whole thing slides into here. You've got the camera, and you can adjust this so you can view kind of forward, 45 degree angle, straight down, or even behind if you want to. This goes around the trolling motor. A couple of mounting hardware. Before you start your install, you want to make sure you check the owner's manual, which has a step-by-step process of how you do the install. Real simple, but really a critical step. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this adhesive strip, and this keeps the camera seated in this little bracket so it doesn't move around in there. Real simple. Take this and just simply wrap it around the outside edge, just inside the outside edge. Now we're just going to simply take the camera and slide it into this bracket and seat it in there nice and tight. Now notice these two indicator screws here. You want to make sure they're very nice and level in that bracket so you can have a nice level picture when you turn on your Aqua. Boom. Why don't we go over to the trolling motor and I'll show you how we're going to go ahead and mount this. All right, now I'm going to let the pro take over. I got Andy here. He's going to run the cable up the shaft of this Tarova trolling motor, and we're going to show you how it's done. So now you can just take the end of that Aqua cable, you unplug it from the monitor, and then what Andy's done here is kind of a neat trick. He's taken that plug and taped it to the existing transducer cable. And if you don't have a transducer running down your trolling motor, you can do the same thing with kind of like a wire. But this is kind of a neat trick. So he'll just go ahead and slide it right up the shaft and move it right through that bracket. You have a nice seamless install. So now what we're going to do is we've got this bracket, and we simply are securing the camera inside this housing with 3 screws and 3 lock nuts. And you can adjust this camera to any angle you want to. So when you're out on the water, if you want to look straight down below the boat, you can do that. Just loosen these 2 lock nuts here and screws. I like to have it facing out and down at about a 45 degree angle. That's about perfect for looking underneath boat docks and other things. And if you want to look even further ahead of the boat, it's as simple as removing one of the 3 mounting screws and then simply taking and sliding the camera forward and then retightening these bolts. So once you've got this done, we're going to go ahead and move over and show you how to do the install. So now Andy's going to go ahead and do the install of the Aqua camera on the side of the trolling motor, simply using a simple tension clamp. And then once it's close, then we just kind of fine tune and tweak it, make sure everything's straight, everything's out of the way. Boom. Good. Move the cable right up the shaft through the adjustment. Now Andy's just simply running that cord, fishing it right back through the coil cord back toward the base of the trolling motor. Just keeping everything nice and clean so when you're out on the water, everything is out of the way and nice and functional. Zip tie the cables together, make them nice and tight, nice tight connection, keep everything nice and in line so it stays tight to the shaft of the trolling motor. Okay, so now we've got the trolling motor blocked up here, and Andy's going to go ahead and silicone this cable to the shaft. And that's going to keep everything really tight in there. And and nice and clean again. So you just run a little bead of silicone up that groove on the Terova. And you're putting zip ties in several locations up and down the trolling motor shaft. Now, if you were doing this install on a cable drive trolling motor, you wouldn't need to do the silicone, but you'd just simply use zip ties, or you could use electrical tape, but you would want to make sure you leave enough slack in that cable so there's some play in there. So when the cable twists and the trolling motor head turns, you're in good shape there. After the recommended drying time on the silicone, then you're going to go ahead and remove each of these zip ties. So when you take the trolling motor out of the water and the camera, you've got a nice clean install. So now we've got the AquaView trolling motor camera installed, all done, nice and perfect, and we're just going to plug in the camera, just like that. Once we hit the water, boom, we've got this neat little ram mount. Open up the camera, we're good to go. So thanks a lot, Andy, for showing us how to install the camera today, and we're going to go catch some fish.